Hey guys, it's your girl Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine this weekend, and we were talking about aging and particularly aging versus the whole debate of makeup and not having a lot of representation for mature women in the beauty industry. Anyways, we talked for hours. But I had kind of a bit of an epiphany that I wanted to share with you guys and open you up to maybe thinking a little bit differently about the way that you're applying your makeup. So for reference, I'm 42 years old, and while I am super comfortable and confident in that age, I'm honestly happier in my 40s than I ever was. 30s were great too, 20s I could skip, whatever. I'm just kidding. We had a lot to learn and we had fun then. But one of the things that I think really kind of was more of a pivot and a point in wearing makeup and doing makeup kind of really happened in the very late 30s and stepping into my 40s. And it was more about noticing the things of our face that you don't love as much. And I'm not here to tell you that it's bad to have fine lines or wrinkles or anything like that. I'm not at all. I truly believe that aging is a privilege, but that doesn't mean that we have to accept things that we don't love, where we have the availability and the options to maybe change or tweak things a little bit. As you guys know, I affiliate with a brand named Saint Official, and I absolutely love their makeup. And I've worn their makeup now for almost 10 years. I wore it before it became an artist program in which I was able to have an affiliate and actually color match and work for you guys. I wore the makeup when I owned a salon and a boutique, and we actually used the makeup on a lot of our brides or women that were getting makeup done for a special event. So I've worn and used the makeup for a really long time. And it was kind of in my 30s. We came out, I believe they became an artist program in 2017. But again, I used the makeup before then. It's grown a lot, it's changed a lot, and it's like chef's kiss now. I mean, it was great then, but it's just gotten even better as we've aged. But one of the things that I did in my 30s versus what I can do in my makeup in my 40s, there was a lot of pivoting to be made, but I truly believe that one of the biggest pivots in my makeup was getting rid of foundation. So you guys are not new to the compact. You guys aren't new to how I custom build these for you guys and how I custom match them. But one of the main things that is kind of the big thing with Saint makeup is the highlights. And highlights are our form of foundation, but we don't label them as like foundation, concealer, all that sort of stuff, because they are versatile. So what might work as my main shade as a foundation could work better for somebody for an under eye color, or maybe they're brightening, or maybe a blemish concealer, whatever that might be. So they're all just very versatile products. And I found that where I used to wear my makeup using this as a main shade and then I had a lighter one for my under eyes, I can't do that any longer because it just enhances the fine lines and texture. So again, not unhappy having those things, but I wanted to pivot in the way that I did makeup in order to feel younger, look better, and not draw the eye to my wrinkles or my texture. So I started creating my own tinted serums. Well, all right, back up, rewind. I started using tinted serums instead of wearing any of the Saint highlights. And I did that for a long time until I had an epiphany, but we're gonna get to that. So stick around till I show you that at the end. What I started doing was getting rid of those and using still everything else in my compact, but going lighter on the foundation. Because I found that using the Saint ones, I was struggling to get it as sheer, as veil-like as I wanted it to be. So I used a lot of products like the L'Oreal True Match. I used the Typology Tinted Serum. the Ilia. I tried them all, and I've gone down that path for a while, so you guys could probably find content where I rate them and talk about them. But I had an epiphany not too long ago, and this has completely changed the game for me, because one of the number one best things about the Saint makeup is that it's all in a single compact. So when I had this and then I would have jars to carry around like this, it made it really difficult to just be as convenient. And so that part was a little bit, bothersome in that aspect. And on top of that, one of the downfalls to tinted serums that you get like this from the beauty store, like Ulta, Sephora, or name brands that you love, they're all, for the most part, in carriers like this that have a dropper, right? So the thing about this, and you'll be able to see this on the bottle, I'll hold it up really close for you to see. You can see that it's oxidized, and now it's darker up here and it's lighter down here, which is the color that I matched myself for. And as I use this product over and over, it's going to oxidize more and it's going to get darker and darker and darker. So it just changes on my skin, and it's not what I initially purchased. You shake this and then it just mixes, and then it's just gonna get darker, right? It's part of the game. It happens with vitamin C all the time as well, but that's just annoying to me because I don't use this fast enough before I have to throw it away because it's gotten too dark for me. Because you only need a little bit when you're doing the makeup application the way that I teach. You only need a little bit. So that's kind of annoying to me that they oxidize. So what I ended up doing to solve this problem, and you can do this too, it's going to be such a game changer for you. So this is my palette. Saint Makeup has tons of colors to choose from. So you can pick from these yourself, or you can have me help you to get custom matched for the right shade, or even build you out a beautiful compact just like mine. So once you pick your shade, and I actually have switched to the new color Hazel. This one is my favorite. You wanna make sure that you don't go too light, because that's just going to kind of mute you out almost. It's not going to give you the complexion booster that you want a tinted serum to do. Because a tinted serum isn't coverage, it's more of a blur, it's more of a veil. So your skin is still going to be the forefront, but it's going to kind of just dilute the distractions that you don't like the unevenness in skin, but it's not going to enhance pores, it's not going to enhance fine lines. It's really going to just give you that veil on your skin, which is kind of what we're all going for, right? I mean, at least I was. I wanted to pivot in my makeup application because I felt like my makeup was making me look older than I actually was. And I wanted to kind of reverse age, and I did that with my makeup. So I switched to the new Hazel color, and I have one in my compact right now. And what I do, instead of using 2 or 3 highlights from Saint, I only use one main highlight. And this is what I use to create my tinted serum. So I take my favorite skin serum. I'm sure you have one at home that you love already. Whatever it is, as long as it's a serum, not really an oil. You don't want to get into hyaluronic acids as much. I would pick with something that is a serum, like a skin serum. So I'm going to use an oil serum. This one is by Versed. It's one of my very, very favorites. I love it because it's like a dry oil. So it dries down, and it like a dry oil just sets and soaks into your skin faster without leaving too much of like an oily residue or like a really glossy effect. This one you have to shake really well. Whatever skin serum you have, I bet you're gonna have to shake it really well as well. So then I take that, and I'm just gonna get a couple little drops into my dropper. You can do this inside of your compact, so it's so easy. I put 2 drops on top of my main highlight, which is my main foundation shade, and it's the perfect color for me every single time. And then I use the wash brush, and all I do is feather that on top of that highlight color. And what I end up with, I'm gonna do it on top of my hand here. So kind of pay attention to like my veins or whatever there. And all it does is just give a beautiful blur to my skin, but it is very, very skin focused. And you can see it's gonna be kind of glossy there for a minute, and then it's going to dry down because that dry oil serum just becomes a beautiful blend to my skin where I still have skin showing, but it's just muted out some of those freckles, some of that hyperpigmentation, sun damage, veining, whatever is kind of your problem. It just gives a soft covering to, a soft filter, which it's almost like, you know, when people use the filters that are part of like the TikTok app or just different filters that they use on Instagram, where it just gives that blur to their skin. This is what it does in real life. So like, just like those filters where you're kind of a lot of time guessing whether or not they have one on because it's that soft and you still feel like you see skin, that's what this does in real life. So it's like that real life skin enhancement that you can get on the TikTok app without adding coverage. And it just looks like I have skin on its best day. The type of skin that you have coming straight from a facial. So you get that like straight from a facial rich bitch aesthetic. That's exactly what it does. And you can do that by using these highlights, and they're so inexpensive. They all fit inside of a compact. So anyways, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about that today, just because I think that making that small pivot in your makeup application can really, really change how much older your makeup might be making you look. And not because you are old, it's probably because it's just drawing the eye to those distractions that we are hoping to like take people away from looking at, right? The fine lines, the texture, the wrinkles. And that's going to happen when you are using a foundation, because foundations have opacity. So that means that the level of light getting through is much less. When we're using a tinted skin serum, that light really goes through. It's got that opaqueness. It's very sheer in its viewing. So it's just skin on its best day. So anyways, I'm so glad that you guys popped in. This hopefully is just a quick little video to chat with you guys about that. But if you want me to help you create your own perfectly matched skin serum that's not going to oxidize and change color on you, it's going to be the same color every single time you apply it, this is what you got to do. So let me help you get a color match. I have a link in the actual captions below. I also have one in my profile, but yeah, that's it. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Happy aging.